How's it going, everybody? I know it's been a hot minute since I did an in-person video. I want to say the last time was probably in November, because I don't think I've done anything else since then, but finally back. Figured I would do one for 1,000 subscribers and just kind of catch people up on some things and go into a little history of the channel. I got a little note card here so I don't forget what to say. But without further ado, I think I'm just going to get straight into it. Actually, no. I want to say thank you. I don't think I've ever said thank you in person for 1,000 subscribers. So I want to say thank you for the 1,000 that have subscribed. I think it's like 1,014 right now. The YouTube count is a little off. For some reason, when I go on the, I was going to show you my phone, but my phone's recording, so I can't show you guys. But for some reason, when I click on YouTube Studio, it shows 1,014. But when I go on the little sidebar, like when you click your little image, it only says 1,010. So apparently it only updates every 10 now after you get 1,000, which I didn't know about, but interesting. Face is a little red. Just got home from driving. Just got home from work, I should say. Not driving. Well, I was driving, but anyways, I'm just gonna get straight into it. And to start off, I want to talk about how I met Steve. So it was April of 2018. I always get those two confused. It was April of 2018, and we were both at Club Tortimer. I think I might have mentioned this in one of my previous videos, and this is kind of going along with how the channel was built and whatnot, but I originally met Steven in 2018, April. And like I said, we were both at Club Tortimer. I was in high school. He had graduated the year earlier. He's a year older than me. Well, he's not a year older. He's 7 months older. He was born in May 1999. I was December. But anyways, we both met up there, just randomly, playing around. And I did do a video on this, meeting him. I'll post pictures in one of these spots. But, met back in the day, Club Tortimer. We both kind of were, just looking around, looking to meet some interesting people, because there was a lot of interesting people at Club Tortimer. Kind of a shame it's not back in New Horizons, but what are you gonna do? Anyways, we were at Club Tortimer, and we just started, I liked doing mini games back in the day. Not the tours, but just custom mini games with people, because I had a lot of bells to spare from turnip markets and giveaway towns, so I figured, you know, what the heck, and I came up with this little digging game that if you dug up a spot where there was no money, you didn't get to keep it, but if you dug up a spot with money, you get to keep the money. And it was Steven, a girl named Melissa, and one other person who, I don't know, I think he might be in one of the pictures that I've shown for when I met Steven. Kind of just a guy in the background, so maybe if I have a picture of that dude, I'll post a picture. If you are that dude in the background, be free to comment. But anyways, Steven went up first. He dug every single spot where the money was, and he was inside, mind you, so he got all the money, and I was like, whoa, you're good. So then I did bury more money, of course, and Alyssa went. She didn't do as well as Steven, but it was just interesting. And after that, you know, back in the day, people memorized their friend codes, but of course the Club Tortimer limit for numbers is some reason only 4 numbers, so we just kind of went 4 numbers at a time, gave each other our 3DS friend codes, visited our towns, became best friends, and that was kind of that. After that, Steven and I, we played a few times in 2018, but it was just kind of that summer and that fall, we didn't really speak at all. We weren't really as close friends then yet. But when we finally did become a bit better friends, it was December of 2018. And gotta remember all the details here. So we became friends, kind of started texting a little bit more, and I met up with some of his friends. They were cool, but never really became too good of friends with them. And even Steven's kind of stepped away from them. But we played a lot of Animal Crossing. Made up our own little stories. I'll post some of that stuff in the description. Like, we made our own website for one of our stories, which maybe maybe we'll get into that. Steven and I will get into that in another video, just talking more about that. But we kind of got into our own little story in Animal Crossing, made some things up, and I guess maybe that's kind of part of the reason we're still friends to this day. I mean, or maybe the reason we became friends in the first place was just because we really liked Animal Crossing, loved the freedom you had in New Leaf. And there's a lot of things about New Horizons that I miss, but if you hear my stomach, it's because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet, and I'm hoping to do this video maybe fast, but if it's not fast, oh well. Like I was saying, Steven and I, we really liked Animal Crossing. More so me nowadays. Steven's at camp, he's kind of off the grid, but we still call. I was gonna give him this little phone here. This was my previous phone, but he wants to remain off the grid, so be it. But anyways, Steven and I, we weren't really into making videos yet. We talked about it, kind of talked about the 3DS capture cards, what some of our options would be. Like, for those of you who don't know, when I did my original Welcome Luxury videos, I was using KitKat Slim, as well as my Ocarina of Time videos, which I believe was the first video on this channel, Ocarina of Time, where I put on a fake voice because I was too nervous to talk. But I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. You could probably figure it out though for yourself. But yeah, first video on the channel was Ocarina of Time, then did Welcome Luxury, and then I think my first game with an actual capture card. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I just want to kind of point this out before I forget to mention it later. I think my first game with a capture card was Tree of Tranquility, maybe. I want to say that's what it is. I can't check because the phone's right there, but I want to say it was Tree of Tranquility. But back to what I was saying about Steven and I. We had talked a little bit about recording our series. And mind you, maybe people wouldn't have a very big interest in it or not. It's still kind of a background idea for us. I mean, I've recorded some parts of it. There's some parts on the channel that were re-recorded, but nothing really major has come from it. They did get some decent views, which is awesome. But I wasn't too editing heavy when I was doing those videos on the channel. Like, they were just kind of basic, just typing in all the text and whatnot. And oh, that was my ankle. Just pretty basic videos overall, and maybe someday I'll get back into them a little bit more. But for now, I'm kind of, I don't want to say burned out of Animal Crossing, because that's not 100% true, but I don't know, it's harder for me to get back into it now than it was back in the day when I was doing Animal Crossing videos a bit more regularly. But I still will do more Animal Crossing videos. Just gotta work up the creativity side of me a little bit more. So in terms of our Animal Crossing series, it didn't really go anywhere at the time, and that was, we played it with it ourselves. It was then from then on, after we talked about capture card things, it was just a thing between both of us, and then we would update the website just for those who have an interest, which is like one viewer, so not very good. But after that, we kind of ended things off and left the New Leaf alone, and then that's where Cody comes into play. For those of you who don't know, Cody is the dude that sometimes commentates in some of the videos. He's uploaded some of the shorts. If they use a green screen background, like something from real life, then it is probably a Cody short, because I don't think I've ever done any of those, but that's just Cody. So how I met Cody, I think that's what I wanted to talk about next. Yeah, see? It says, meeting Cody. Anyways, when I was meeting Cody, it was February of 2020. Way back in the day, whole 3 years ago, back during COVID. And I think I was in school, maybe, during the time. I might get into that a little bit more. Probably not. But we were in the Animal Crossing New Horizons Discord server, and I was like, wow, you guys all like Animal Crossing. And then Cody was just kind of being like, heh, his usual stuff. So we were talking around there a little bit, and then I told Cody about the series that Steven and I had, and he was like, whoa, this is pretty interesting. He didn't actually say that, but still, we talked about it a little bit more, and just kind of went from there. And then he joined a little server that Steve and I had. It's just the three of us, mind you. There's nobody else involved. He joined that, and we started talking a bit more. Got to know Cody a bit more. Got to know Steven a bit more. And then that is probably right around the time when Steven and I were kind of, we were friends, but kind of drifting a little bit, 2020. But then, that March, 2020, New Horizons came out. And then, we started playing a bit more, kind of became close friends again. Steven would tell me about all his lady troubles, and I was like, very interesting. Find me a lady. And he never did, but... Anyways, that was that for March. And that summer, we started talking a bit more about possibly meeting up. And even Cody was involved for like one conversation. And then the conversation with Cody, that never really went anywhere. But then, Steven and I were like, hey, Connor, you go to Tennessee in November. And I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, Conrad, what if we met in Tennessee? And I was like, what? We meet in Tennessee? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that'd be cool. Yeah, we've met up before. And then he was like, well, I'll have to see more when the time comes. When the time came, we'd realized we'd both forgotten about it. And we'd meet in 2020. Alright. This is still around that summertime, okay? So, no, actually not summertime, fall. Inspiration is what I'm going to cover next before I get to meeting Steven in person. Okay. So, and making the channel, of course. It was October 2020, I want to say. Yeah, 2020. That's when I made the channel. And the reason I made the channel was kind of going along with Steven and I. Because March of 2020, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but bear with me. It was October 2020. This is when Steven and I were kind of back in our series of Animal Crossing, and we were doing New Horizons, little website updates for our episodes, and around that time is when I was really considering, getting a capture card and doing YouTube. So I wanted to look into that a little bit more, and what I found out was, I don't know if I've ever shown this before, but my modded 3DS. This is the 3DS that I modded, and I know you're like, Connor, why would you do that to a Zelda limited edition 3DS? Well, I don't know. But this is it, nothing too fancy. It is not one of those built-in capture card ones, which I might get later. We'll see. Probably not, but you never know. So I used KitKat Slim to record, and that is where some of the, okay, I need to step back a few. So, before I even discussed the series with Steven that year, like going back and refilming some stuff, I was like, how can I test this? And you know how I tested it? I used Ocarina of Time 3D. You know how those first few videos went? Terribly. I had so many sound issues. I had some laggy issues because I wasn't really close to the router. That series was very interesting. That was a test run for the channel. I think the same could be said for Welcome Luxury. They're both test runs. And with test runs, they don't usually go the greatest. So, test run. But overall, I know I said in Ocarina of Time that I was happy with the series at the end. I think I did alright. I'd give it a 6 out of 10, just to be merciful. It could definitely be improved upon today. Will I ever do it again? Probably not. But anyways, and back to Welcome Luxury. I want to specify on this too. I think I've done Welcome Luxury on the channel twice. Cody's done it once. And you know what's happened for 3 of those series? All 3 of them? They just disappear. We stopped doing them. In my case, for the original 3DS series, it was because it just randomly disappeared off my 3DS. I don't know what happened to it. It was just gone. But then for the second series, when I was using the 3DS emulator, then it was very laggy on my other laptop. I know it's still a bit laggy when I do New Leaf videos on this laptop, but it's much better. Which is why I do consider doing New Leaf a bit more. Oh no, I'm shaking the camera. Let's wait for it to stay. Okay, I think it's good. Or good enough. What was I saying? What can I show you? But yeah, so those were the first two test series because I wanted to see how maybe filming an actual series would be for the whole roleplay series that Steven and I were doing in Animal Crossing. And then Steven was like, Conrad, you're gonna have to get a bit more editing heavy. I was like, interesting, that sounds cool. You know what? I did get into editing a bit more back in 2021, 22, and this year. I'll go into that stuff a bit later too. I know, alright, 16 minutes, I'm getting starving, but I shouldn't say starving, but I'm getting really hungry. Anyways, so we did refilm some of those episodes a little bit. And then we just kind of stopped. And I think that was around 2021. And I think that is when I did the Bully Maguire in Animal Crossing. It might have been the Dancing Zemo as well. I want to say Bully Maguire was the first Animal Crossing video I did for New Horizons. The Bully Maguire in Animal Crossing, which it picked up later on, which is surprising, but I don't know. That was an interesting video. I'm sad that the Dancing Zemo didn't do quite as well, because I need to go back to inspiration. Sun's coming out a little bit. One of the biggest inspirations for doing the Animal Crossing New Horizons videos was Great Bit Arcade, because he does a lot of Animal Crossing videos, and I was like, well, the first one I ever saw of his was the Agathon Animal Crossing. That is what set everything off. I was like, holy crap, people are making stuff in Animal Crossing. And then I think I showed it to maybe Steven and Cody, and they were like, whoa, that's cool. And I was like, what if I did something like this? And I'm like, whoa. So then, 2021, the Home Alone video. I believe I did that during the summer. You know what? It didn't do very well. Not at first. During those first few months, it was kind of sitting around. But then, in October, I did a few more videos. I did the Haunted House. I did Monster House. Hocus Pocus. A Scene from Beetlejuice. And I think that was it. And I compiled that all into a little Animal Crossing film, which I like those. They're fun to do. Fun for Cody. Cody likes them a little bit. Steven, I think he's only been in the first one? Maybe? I did use his voice for later ones, but, well, maybe get into that later. I don't want to make this video like a half hour long, but it probably will be at this point. So, I did those. They kind of stuttered, but Monster House one did pretty well, which was surprising for the channel. And then, December, that's when I did the Christmas video. I did a Polar Express scene, It's a Wonderful Life scene, a Die Hard scene, a Christmas Story scene, and I used that Home Alone scene again for the video. And the Home Alone scene, that is when that thing really started to pick up. And I was like, whoa! An Animal Crossing video is picking up for me. Nice! And it just kind of picked up. And from there, I was like, nice. This might work. So, I need to backtrack a little bit more to, backtrack. Around that time, I think is when I was doing Twilight Princess. I think that was 21. Yeah. 2021 and 22. No, just 2021. That was when I was doing Twilight Princess, and that was doing alright. First video did pretty well. Then kind of just, it was alright. Tree of Tranquility was doing alright too at the time. It's still doing alright. It still gets views, which is awesome. which I am gonna do more Tree of Tranquility videos. I'll get into that in the actual Tree of Tranquility video when that comes out, probably like 2 years from now. Anyways, so around that time, Skyward Sword HD come out. I want to say that was 21. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was 2021. And then, part of that series, I did a bug hunting guide and a rickety coaster guide. That rickety coaster guide, it did much better than I ever expected it to do. I mean, I was just trying to make a video in the way that that help other people understand it in the way that I was trying to understand it. And evidently I did a really good job explaining it, because a lot of people like that video, which is awesome. That is kind of part of what built the channel up a little bit. I'll get more into the other goody stuff. Then comes November 2021. And you know what else came in November 2021? The Animal Crossing 2.0 update. And this is another big old foundation for the channel. I think I'm kind of glossing over 2021 because I think I just was talking about 2020, about the Christmas stuff, but this video is all over the place, which you guys know by now. But come 2021, November, this is when the 2.0 update came out, and then that KK concert video, that's when I uploaded those. And I was in Tennessee at the time. Alright, I'll go back to Steven and I before I get into this. So, Steve and I, we talked about meeting up this November too. And you know what? It didn't happen. We forgot about it again. Something Steve and I are really good at. Mostly Steven. That's all on him. Blame him. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, with Steve and I, we didn't really meet up. And we were kind of drifting back and forth. I mean, we were playing, I want to say fall in December through the spring were probably the best times for us in 2021. That is when we were playing games a pretty good amount. Like we were playing Call of Duty Cold War. We were doing the zombies. Don't like the multiplayer very much. And we were doing Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers, stuff like that. And Cody and I were just kind of being Cody and I. You know, we talked about meeting up once. I think I already said that, but we talked about that like once. And then never got back into it a whole lot. And Steven and I were kind of building our friendship, even though it was, I shouldn't say our friendship was like stumbling. It was just growing slower. But I'm trying to think where I was at. KK concert, yeah. So then I was in Tennessee at the time, and I was like, you know, my houses, they're poorly designed. I had a few comments about that. I know my house designs suck. I just want to say that. I was kind of rushing through it a little bit, partially trying, which kind of hurts a little bit. They say my house sucks, but it's true. Some of them do. So I uploaded that KK concert video, and I was like, it's alright. I can't imagine that nobody else has found this yet. And to my surprise, I looked around YouTube, and nobody else has found it. So I thought, alright, why don't I upload this? And I uploaded it once. I don't remember the date. And it was an okay video. But then I uploaded a part with the intro. That little part where KK comes in. And I merged that with one of the other parts. The previous part. Put that together. And I just realized I skipped over a very important video. Hold on. Let me go way back. 2020. We're going to cover this because I forgot to mention it. The Blues Clues video. This is a big old turning point for the channel. This is when the channel started to pick up a little bit more. The Blues Clues video. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. But you can't spell blue without you. I saw that video and I was like, Blues Clues was a big old part of my childhood. So, why not do a video on it, you know? So I did the video. It took 3 days, I want to say. 2 or 3 days. Steven helped a little bit. He plays an old man stretching in the video. I just asked him if he wanted to be in it. He said sure. And that video skyrocketed. Like, that week, it went up to like 100,000 views maybe 2 weeks later. But that thing was just skyrocketing, and I was like, whoa, that is awesome. And that was the first big old turning point for the channel. Now come 2021. November. I know I keep looking at myself. I keep forgetting where the camera's at. So come November, the KK thing, merge the videos together, upload it, whatnot. And come the next morning, it wasn't doing the greatest, and I was like, this probably isn't going to do very well. But then, you know what? I checked again when we were back on the road, heading towards Tennessee a little bit more, because we were in a hotel when I uploaded that video. And I checked again, and it was like over a couple thousand views, and I was like, whoa, this video's doing well. And it was doing well. And that is around the time when the Home Alone video started doing well again, because it kind of slowed down when it wasn't winter, picks up every winter. And I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. People are watching this video. I know it's not something that I made myself, but to show off something, that's pretty cool. The channel's doing well from this. So I did that. It did very well. And I was like, nice. This is awesome. And then those KK videos they did pretty well for that November, December, and for part of spring, kind of started to die down after that. Then come 2022, okay? Last year. Can't believe it's 2023. Keep forgetting that it's a new year, even though we're halfway through the year. So, 2022, I started doing a few more random Animal Crossing movie scenes, stuff like that. I still got to do a few this year. I've kind of just fallen out of it a whole lot, but I want to do a few more. But copyright, that's the issue. I don't want to get striked for something. I know that it's not like a scene from the movie, but the audio, that can be probably striked out, imagine. Then there'd be a big ol' issue. I was gonna maybe bring up another issue. I don't know if I should talk about it or not, though. But so I'll kind of just briefly skim over it. I want to say it was 2022, March that year, maybe. My channel or my email had disappeared, and I was like, "What the heck? Where's the channel's email?" And apparently, the channel had issues with having 2 phone numbers. So that caused a big debacle, and then I'm just glad that it's over. Sorry, my nose a lot. So I'm not gonna go any more to that, but that was a big old scare for the channel, because it could have gotten rough, and that would have been scary. But going forward, 2022 still, I started getting into Animal Crossing a little bit more. Let's see what else I want to talk about. And those videos, they were doing pretty well. I mean, I did get quite a bit of growth this later on in the year, and then 2023, which is awesome. I think I was getting like a couple hundred subscribers every 2 months or so. So that's pretty cool. I was doing Tears of the Kingdom this year. Story Seasons. That last Story Seasons video did very well, which is very interesting. I don't know why that is. Maybe because of the thumbnail? I don't know. But 2022, Steve and I, after that spring, we kind of drifted apart a little bit. And just kind of fell out of talking a little bit. But it was because during the summer, he didn't really text on his phone very much. And we just kind of didn't talk at all during that summer. And then come August 13th is his last day at camp. I should say that. Maybe I'll get him to do a little part for this video. We'll see. Probably not. Maybe Cody can even do a part. So come August, we start talking a little bit more. And he's like, Conrad. And I was like, Steven. And then we were both like, what if we meet in person? And then he was like, well. And then I was like, are you gonna bring your girlfriend? And he was like, no. Let's just meet 2 of us. He didn't actually say that. I think his girlfriend was busy at the time. So, come November, this is when Steve and I first meet. I had the flu. It just came out of nowhere. I normally don't get sick very often, even though I work at a hospital. So I'd gotten sick for the first time in probably 5 years, right when I was supposed to meet Steven. And it was that week. I think the Friday before was the day that I got sick. And then I think we met on a Wednesday, so maybe the Tuesday? No, I think it was Thursday that we met. Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Thursday? So, yeah, I think we met. I don't know. I'll have to look this up later. So, it was that Wednesday night. Either Wednesday or Tuesday night. I think it was Wednesday night. That I was sicker than a goose. And Steven was like, you know, Connor, if you're so sick, maybe I shouldn't come. And I was like, are you kidding me, Steven? You know how long this has been in the making? And he was like, but Conrad. I was like, Steven. I don't my voice just cracked there. I was like, Steven, please. I did sound sick in that video. I sound very congested.
Hello everybody, this is Steven and Connor. I'm Connor, this is Steven. Steven's been in like one video before.
One?
Yeah.
I was like, Steven, we've got to make this work, dude. We got to meet. And it's usually the worst. Your flu is usually the worst. I want to say on the 5th day or something. And that's what that day was. So I took some aspirin and I was like, please, Lord, let me be fine. And you know what? An hour afterwards, my fever broke and I was good. All I had was a stuffy nose after being super sick that entire week in Tennessee. And then Steven came that Thursday. That's when we first met. I'll post that picture again. I don't know if I've ever shown the picture of Steve and I's first picture together. I'll post that either here or one of these sides. So that is how I met Steven in person. And we hung out in Tennessee together. I don't really think I need to go too much into that junk. It was fun though. And then I introduced Steven to Smallville, the best TV show ever. Which, I have the Blu-ray set, which is awesome. But anyways, that's how I met Steven. This video's going on a half hour. Goodness gracious. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, I was kind of getting more inspiration for Animal Crossing stuff then. I liked editing. I currently use CapCut. That's when I got familiar with like using chroma key, like make your character's background disappear so they can be like cut out. And I really started to enjoy doing that a little bit more. I really like editing. 2022 is when I really started to enjoy editing. And even this year, I haven't done too much with Animal Crossing, but you know, I don't know. I'm getting too hungry to keep speaking a whole lot, so I'm gonna end this pretty quickly. But I just want to say thank you again for all the people who have subscribed, people who watch the videos, whether it be Spider-Man video that I've done, Zelda video, Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, Story Seasons. Is that all I've done? Scooby-Doo. Just any sort of those videos. I want to say thank you. This might end up turning out to be the 1,000 subscriber video. I'm still thinking about that. I'll have to maybe delve into that a little bit more. I'm gonna see if I can get a comment from Cody and Steven for this video. I just kind of, my card is over. I don't have any other things to talk about. I'm kind of bad without a script. I don't use a script like ever. It's just kind of stuff I come up with at the top of my head. Maybe I'll do a Q&A video. Oh, I know what I forgot. This October, I'm going to Steven's wedding. So maybe him and I can do a video there. Otherwise, in November, we're going to meet in Tennessee again. So that'll be interesting. But other than that, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get some food. Maybe I'll do an individual Q&A video. I don't know if I just said that or not. Probably did. Might do that at some point. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really feel like sharing a whole lot of information, but We'll see. Yeah, just want to thank you for 1,000 subscribers. That was kind of a summary of how the channel came to be from all over the place. And oh yeah, I did start exercising a bit more after that video. You'll notice I'm a little bit thinner than I was in November. 30 pounds down. I always liked exercising, but then I got tendonitis in my foot and kind of went all over the place. But I'm good now. I'm good. I like biking a lot more now. I don't run really ever, just bike. And then I do push-ups. I do some yoga. Not the most flexible person in the world, but getting there. But yeah, I need to go get some sustenance in my system. If you want to see me talk about anything else, just let me know, I guess. I'll keep everyone posted on if I'm going to do something for 1,000 subscribers. And let's see, do I want to shout anything out here? Go check out Zelda Dungeon. They're a good website. And I'll see if I can get a comment from Cody and Steven. If I can't, the video will just end here. But if I can, maybe there'll be something after this. So I want to say thank you guys all for watching. And I hope that you have a good evening, day, night, whatever it may be. Thank you.
Hey guys, Cody here from NorthernFusiongames. I want to thank you again for helping us reach 1K subscribers. It's a pretty big milestone, and hopefully one of many to come. Connor wanted me to record what my favorite thing about doing AC vids were, and to be honest, probably voices. Probably the main thing I usually do anyways. Sounding goofy with voice modifiers like robotic or echoey is very fun, and even though I'm an amateur voice actor, I guess, I like to have fun with it, and it's my favorite thing to do so far.